Girl, watch out who you let into your home, your heart, and your wallet. Get in here, get in here, get in here. Because I got a story for you, honey. Click like and click share, honey. Because listen, and get yourself something to sip on because it's going to be quite a story, okay? Now listen, I have to get permission to tell this one. Because this one today, honey, this is about a good friend of mine. Let's call her Monica, okay? Get in here, get in here, get in here. When you share it, let me know, honey. I've got my beads because I'm celebrating my home, South Africa. All right, y'all? So get in here, get in here, get in here because I look good today. But listen, it's not about me. All right, thank you so much, Willie, for sharing this video. When y'all share it, call out so I can call y'all out too. Listen! I want you to picture this, okay? You are in your early 40s. Okay, picture this. You in your early 40s. You done raised your babies. They out the house. Okay? You've been divorced already, okay? So you know what it feels like to be in love. You know what it feels like to lose up. Thank you, Allison and Muhammad, for sharing this video, okay? You know what that feels like. Then you meet somebody. They are perfect in every way. However, there's a fatal flaw to them that frankly turns your life and your world upside down, baby. This happened to my good homegirl, Monica. I asked for her permission to tell the story. And as always, there's a lesson within the story. So y'all listen, listen, listen. You know how I do the stories, baby, okay? Honey, they go fast. So y'all listen close, all right? And baby, they're going to entertain you. But listen close to the lesson, especially for the one that comes at the end. All right, so listen, 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 okay? As I mentioned, my homegirl, Monica, I remember we was out, and she had gotten a divorce from this dude. Let's call him John. She got a divorce from him. And I remember, because I remember when they first got together, they were such a beautiful couple and everything like that. John was a nice guy, but he just was not a relationship kind of guy. And what I mean by that is this. He was not the kind of guy who was willing to make the sacrifices to be in a relationship. He wanted to work 24/7. From what she told me, that's just me talking, she said that, you know, he wasn't doing what he needed to do in the bedroom. You know what I mean? I'm not going to the tips. I know you got your kids around. All right, but he wasn't handling business there. And by not handling business there, he was good when he showed up and he didn't show up often. See what I'm saying? All right. And so anyway, so that wasn't hitting on nothing. You see what I'm saying? And he just was never really that kind of man to be in a relationship. He didn't want to talk about nothing. He felt like being a good man was just providing, and that was it. But she wanted love. She wanted connection. So when her kids finally got old enough to leave out the house and everything like that, she did what she promised herself she was going to do all along, which is, I'm going to leave him because, frankly, we're not happy together. I only stayed with him for these kids, right? Tell me if you can relate. Thank you so much, Kareem and Marie and Carla, for sharing this video. And Natasha, thank you for sharing this video. When you call this video, when you share this video, call it out. Let me know you shared it. So anyway, so she finally left him, right? And so anyway, I'm going to share this video. Share this video because this is one y'all really need to share, okay? So anyway, I remember she came to me and she said, I'm going to leave John. I said, okay, cool. I said, I understand because I was there all along. And I'm that friend with, listen, if you tell me you're going to leave your man, I support you. I will never tell you to leave your man, though, okay? I don't believe in telling people to leave their spouse. I don't care what's going on. I ain't telling you to do that. So she said she was ready to go. I said, baby, let me know what you need from me. If you need any support, anything like that in terms of guidance. You know, I ain't paying for nothing, but, you know, some guidance, right? So anyway, she was like, yeah, I feel like I'm ready to go. So I was like, okay, cool. So she broke up with him. And then maybe after about 7-8 months, she wanted to start hanging out and everything like that. She's like, you know, we should start going out. We should start doing stuff. I was like, okay, cool. So we would go to different things like jazz festivals. We would go to like little, you know, art gallery openings. We would go to stuff where I felt like good grown men was going to be at. You know what I'm talking about? The kind of grown man she was looking for, right? Well, you know, when you that old and you become a single again, going back to the type of place you're going to in your 20s, the nightclubs and stuff like that, girl, bye. Okay, the men and they don't want you and you don't want them. Let's just be real about it, okay? So we went to very mature places and I remember it like it was yesterday, honey. I remember this, okay? We went to this little event. It was like an outdoor kind of like little event. Right, so we're there, like a jazz in the park kind of event. You see what I'm saying? Like a nice day, nice summer day, right? She's wearing this beautiful sundress, okay? And she got a body on her, honey. I'm not even into women like that, okay? But she got a body, okay? Honey, this is Meg Thee Stallion's mama, okay? This is Cardi B's auntie, okay? She got a body on her, okay? So she come out in this dress, honey. You know what I'm talking about? The kind of dress where it lay just right on every curve. I'm like, girl, how you wearing a sundress and it just laying on every curve like that, honey? She's looking good head to toe. So, of course, I had to come out looking good head to toe because I'm not going to step out looking crazy when my homegirl look good. You see what I'm saying? So anyway, I remember we walking through, and as we walking through to all the little vendors that were out there, right? You know how they had the little vendors that be stuff, some be selling like essential oils, cocoa butter, beads, and all kind of stuff like that. As we walking by, I remember it was this one particular guy there, and he kept on looking at her. Every time we walk by, I said, Monica, I said, look. She's just steady looking. I said, Monica. Look, she said, I'm not worried about that. I'm not out here looking for no man. You always trying to get me to find a man. Blah, blah. I'm like, girl, bye. I know you want to date naps and everything like that. So you are looking for a man. Quit playing. Be intentional, right? And so I was like, girl, look. And I kind of regret pointing them out now. I'm about to tell you the story, but whatever. They grown. They chose to date each other. I just pointed them out. So anyway, she looked at him, and so finally she looked up, and she sees him right there. And she's like, she says, oh, and she sees him. I was like, see, girl? See what I mean? I need y'all to picture this, okay? So how am I going to describe him? Okay. So Monica, like I said, she got a body yaddy yaddy on him, okay? She thick. Okay, thick. When I say body yaddy yaddy, she ain't one of these little skinny girls with a speed bump. You see what I'm saying? She thick. Okay, thicker than a Snicker baby, all right? And so she need a man with some body yaddy yaddy, if you know what I mean. She can't have no little man who can't lift her up. You see what I'm saying? And so anyway, this man was that, honey. He looked corn-fed and cornbread, okay? He was fine as hell in a grown man kind of way. He ain't need no six-pack abs, okay? What he had was a grown man body. He had a husband shape on him, that kind of shape that we all like. You know what I'm talking about, okay? So anyway, he is probably, because Monica, so I'm about 5'7" on a good day. Monica probably about 5'4", 5'5". Okay, and him, he wasn't even that tall, maybe a good 5'11". You know how men be lying and saying they 6'3", 6'4". He about 5'11". Okay, 5'11". All right, but anyway, I remember he looked like he was like the like what you call it, the people from like New Orleans. You know what I'm talking about? Where they look kind of mixed. You see what I'm saying? And like the gray green eyes. And I remember he had like this reddish brown hair. Even his mustache had like that reddish brown tint on it. You see what I'm saying? It looked natural. And you could tell he was starting to get that little salt and pepper gray in there, honey. He looked mature. He looked fine as I don't know what. You know, I always look at people's hands. Pretty hands. Thank you so much, Stacey O'Neal. Thank you, Clayton. Thank you, Lee. Thank you, Marty, for sharing this video. When y'all share it, call out. Let me know you shared it. So anyway, he looks fine as hell. So as I'm looking, I'm like, girl. And so she keeps on looking at him. So everywhere we go, I'm like, girl, say something. She's like, I'm gonna wait for him to come up to me. I was like, okay, girl, whatever. And so we kept going from booth to booth to booth to booth. Eventually, we sat down to watch the little jazz show, right? We sat down. We had like not the little. I ain't sitting on no blanket nowhere, but we had the little chairs. You know, you take to your kids football games with the little chairs, the fold out chairs that we put out. So with the little chairs. The next thing I know, we sit down there. While he boldly props himself up right beside us, he puts his down. He says, "You mind if I sit by y'all? Is this space taken?" And so I'm sitting there sipping my little drink. I didn't say nothing. I'm the ultimate, wingman. I don't say nothing. I said, so I looked over, and she acted like she didn't hear me. So I hit her arm, like, girl, say something. And she's like, no, it's fine. So he go and sit down, right? And then he said, where your husband at? That's the first thing he said to her. Didn't introduce himself, didn't say nothing. Where your husband at? Monica looked at me, looked at him, and she said, how you know he ain't my husband? I said, girl, bye. And he bust out laughing. I'm like, girl, bye, he ain't stupid. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, that kind of kicked off the little joke, you know, add a little humor to it. So I noticed they start laughing and talking, So mind you, she's sitting in the middle. He's sitting on one side of her, I'm sitting on the other side of her. So I just said, you know what, let me get up and go. Because here's the thing, if I'm out with you and a man come over, a woman come over, whoever come over who try and talk to you, I'm leaving. Don't nobody like that third wheeling ass friend who want to sit there the whole time while somebody putting down game. Come on now. So I got up and left, okay? I just went and walked around, did what I had to do, child, called my grandmother on the phone. I did whatever I had to do to get done some space, not no 5 minutes of space, like y'all sit and talk kind of space. And I can find something else to do real easy. So anyway, I got up and I walked away, but I kept looking over there just to check on her, right? As I'm looking over there, all I know is I'm seeing them laughing and talking. And at first when he put his chair down, they weren't close together. He put his gave a little space. You know what I'm saying? He was being appropriate. As I looked over a little while later, the chairs was right beside each other. Before I know it, he got his arm around and they laughing. Ha, 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 he, he. I ain't never seen Monica this happy in so long. Because like I said, I've known her for a long time. You see what I'm saying? And so I ain't seen her this happy in a long time, okay? She was glowing. I never saw her have that look with John, her ex, right? I never saw her have that kind of look with John. With him, it was always like, I feel like they were glorified roommates. You see what I'm saying? Maybe they was in love at one point in time, but you can look at a couple until they ain't touched each other in years or ever or rarely for that matter. I just felt that kind of vibe from her and her ex, but with him, there was actual chemistry. There was that kind of stuff, and she looked like a schoolgirl, like who was just giggling, ha ha, he ha ha, because you gotta think about it. for almost 20 years, she had not been courted. She had not dated. So she didn't have a knack for dating. People start to think that, oh, you should know how to date, blah, 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 boo, 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 boo. But if you haven't dated for all these years, thank you for sharing this video, Christina and Yolanda and Bria. Thank you for sharing it. When y'all share this video, call it out. Right, let me know you shared so I can say thank you to you, okay? You know, people thinking you know how to date. It's like, girl, I was married all these years ago. I don't know how to date. I ain't dated in 2 decades. You see what I'm saying? And so I could see her where she was a little out of her element, but it was good because she was also out of her element of having to be a mom, having to be an unhappy wife, having to be somebody's boss at work, having to be somebody's caretaker to her parents and everybody else. She was in a new element. And I just like seeing that for her. So anyway, they was laughing and kikiing and laughing and kikiing. So anyway, I came back over there eventually, and I was like, listen, I said, hey, y'all, Monica, you mind coming over here real fast? Just real fast. I said, I'm just going to seal away for you for 1 minute. And she was like, yeah. I said, listen, I'm not trying to cut in, but I got to go. Okay, I got to go do me. So, do you want me to wait for you, or what you want to do? Like, do you feel comfortable leaving on your own? You call Uber, you do whatever you need to do. I don't feel like waiting around no more, and I don't want to cut into y'all's conversation. And so she was like, oh, she's like, no, you can leave, baby. You can leave. It's cool. I'll find my own way home. I said, you sure? She said, I'll find my own way home. I said, are you sure? She said, I'll find my own way home, which I knew what that meant. I was like, okay, girl. Play safe. All right? That's all I was saying. That's all I'm saying, right? And so anyway, I left, hit her up that night. I said, listen, is everything cool? She said, I'm cool. Texted her again later on. Is everything cool? She said, I'm cool, child. Next day at brunch, because this was a Saturday. Next day at brunch on Sunday. Now, it was a 2 o'clock brunch, okay? So we get to brunch the next day, honey. I said, what happened? She said, I didn't make it home. I said, you didn't make it home? She said, my kids ain't at home. Ain't nobody checking for me if I get home. I said, where'd you go? She said, let me tell you what happened. She says they were sitting there cackling and kikiing so long that even the food vendors shut down at the event. You see what I'm saying? You know, they got the food vendors. The food vendors shut down. So they was hungry as hell, sitting out there in the hot sun, just drinking wine and talking and drinking wine and talking. So he said to her, why don't we go out to eat? I said, oh, really? So yeah. So anyway, took her out to eat to this nice restaurant. I'm talking nice restaurant. One of these restaurants where you would think you need like a reservation to get in or whatever. They got up to the counter, right? When they walked up to the counter, right, to ask like for a reservation, to say, hey, can we sit down? That they said one moment, and they said, Mr. So-and-so, let's say his name was, I don't know, Mr. Lassiter. Mr. Lassiter, please come this way. They knew his name. Okay? Brought them right that way, honey. They did not sit them in just a regular part of the restaurant. They set them in like a little, you know how they have those little areas set off to the side for if you have parties or whatever, where you kind of exposed to the rest of the restaurant, but you're in your private area. Child, set them off in that little area, right? Didn't even have a menu for them. As soon as she didn't even see when he ordered. And I don't think he did, because when they sat down, they start bringing out different dishes. And he's like curating this, like, try this is that. Baby, she never had this kind of experience with John. Like I said, all that John did was work and came home and slept, honey. That's all her ex-husband did. But with this particular gentleman, let's call him, what are we going to call him? Let's call him, what's a good scammer name? Jimmy. Okay? But with Jimmy was refined. Jimmy had people who treated him like he had power. You see what I'm saying? See, a lot of y'all make the mistake where y'all be trying to go after the man in the bunch who's the pretty one. Y'all be trying to go after the man in the bunch who's all that stuff. Monica always has been attracted to powerful men, but the mistake she made with John was that John was powerful and worked a lot. But with Jimmy, honey, he had power, and it showed through. This man was making time for her. He was talking her through the meals, and as they talked, she learned so much about him, or what she thought was about him. Listen, okay? So anyway, they talking, chit-chatting, having a wonderful time, drinking and carrying on, trying all these. Child, now be careful, right? They had a little, what you call a little wine thing, where you can try different wines, a little tasting, a wine tasting, that's what they call it, wine tasting. Child, all these wine tasting. By the end of it, she was good and tipsy. Okay, having a wonderful time, right? The whole time at dinner, he's got his hand rubbing up on her thigh. Y'all know what I'm talking about, honey. You know what I'm talking about when you out with a man, or for that matter, a nice masculine woman. I don't know what some of y'all like. All right, do your thing, girls. All right, but anyway, when you out with somebody and they got that big old hand on your thighs, they talking to you, and everything you say, they get a little closer, ha, 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 and they use it as an excuse to pull you closer. At one point, she says they was sitting there, look what he did. She's sitting there laughing, and as she laughed, he pulled her chair closer to him, right? She said, ooh, right? The whole time his face is up in her face, talking. And you know what? You know how to, I love this when men do this kind of stuff. When you talking to them and you tell them all about everything you want to tell them about, and they listen. First of all, I love when a man listen. But the whole time you talking, he listening to you and looking at you like this. And then the look in his eyes is almost like he want to eat you like a piece of steak, honey. He want to eat you like a chocolate cake, honey. He want you get where I'm going, okay? And the whole time you talking, he looking at you like this. And you know he ain't halfway listening to everything you saying. You know that. But you feel pretty as a mug, okay? And you feel good. You like, sipping your wine. Okay? So this is all happening. It's beautiful. It's fabulous. It's amazing. Pamela said, MJ is so dramatic and I love it. You know, girls, I gotta give you a story, okay? So listen. And thank you for sharing the video, Pamela. I appreciate y'all, right? So anyway, they having this good time. So by the end of the night, honey, because remember, she Ubered, right? So I think that he drove them to the little restaurant. Honey, don't drink and drive or whatever. So anyway, so they get to the restaurant. They doing all this stuff. By the end of the night, I said, what happened, girl? She said, well, I didn't go home. I said, what you mean you didn't go home? She said, you grown. Don't ask no questions that you already know the answer to. I said, was it good? She said, what? I said, was it good, girl? I know what you did. I know what you did. Because remember, I know you, girl. Okay? Just because John wasn't handling it doesn't mean you don't know how to get handled. You hear where I'm going with that, okay? I said, was it good? She said, that she sipped her fourth mimosa at brunch, honey. I'm like, how you doing that last night? You're still drinking mimosas. And so she said, it was the best I ever had. I said, you a lie! She said it was the best she ever had. And I was so happy for her because she was like a delicate flower that had not been touched in ages, had not been appreciated in ages, okay? Her aroma had not been sniffed in ages, if you know what I mean. You see what I'm saying? So she with a man who appreciated her. And I said, even if this just turns out to be a one-night stand, baby, it's what she needed. It's what she needed. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to have somebody to come and knock the cobwebs off and kiss the lonely away and remind you you're desirable. You see what I'm saying? And so I said, the best you ever had. She said, I said, better than John? Like I said, John was good when he was there, but he wasn't barely there. All right? I said, better than John. I said, you can tell me, girl, better than John. You know, honey, I'm the friend I always like to get the tea. And she said, baby, I was with John. Gave me 20 years. Okay? He knew my body inside and out. She said, John could never. I said, he could never. She said, I'm still tingling. I said, girl, you a lie. You a lie. She said, I said, for real? She said, She said, in fact, after brunch, I'm seeing him this evening. I said, girl, you just saw him yesterday. She said, I'm seeing him this evening, honey. I said, really? She says, yes. She said, he got these tickets to like this little boat kind of thing. Like the little, you know how in Alabama had the riverboat situation where there was a dinner cruise? Like a dinner cruise. You know what I'm saying? See, he had he had like tickets to that kind of thing that night. She said, and he invited me. So I said, sure. She said, what the hell else am I doing tonight? My kids away at school. I ain't got nobody, nothing else to do. I said, girl, you do you, baby. You do you. I'm so happy for her. Went out with him. Child, as time went along, weeks go by, months go by. Every time I would see Monica, I saw Jimmy with her, okay? And they look so nice. They even dress coordinate and everything like that. Baby, her style changed. Before I know it, she used to get her hair done every now and then. It looked nice. But when I would see her, now her hair done all the time. At one point in time, I started seeing her driving different cars. Because sometimes we go out, I don't feel like driving. She like driving. So, girl, pick me up. You see what I'm saying? And she used to pick me up in her sensible car. Now she picked me up in all these expensive, nice cars and everything. I said, whose car is this? She said, it's Jimmy's car. These nice cars. I'm talking, one time was a Bentley. You see what I'm saying? Nice cars. I'm like, okay. You see what I'm saying? And then we would go to different places. We used to go to little cute restaurants, but we go to real nice stuff. Child, you know what changed? Because when me and Monica would go out, we'd always split the bill. This time we went out. She pulls out, the bill comes, and I was going to put my card. I said, okay, we splitting it again. That's how friends do. We split the bill. And she said, put that away, honey. I said, what? She pulls out Not a platinum card, not a gold card, honey, a black, Amex black card. Get with it, get with it. You don't know what I'm talking about? Google it, my dears, okay? She pulls out a black card, unlimited credit limit, and it wasn't his name written on. I'm thinking at first, oh, he done gave her his card. Non-child. Her name was on it. What that means? He made her an authorized user. Get into it. So hands her the card. She goes the card. My baby said I should take y'all. I should handle this. He's taking us out. It's on him. I said, really? I said, tell him. I said, thank you. So from then on out, every time we would go out, he's hitting the bill, right? He didn't come around very much, but that was cool, right? At one point in time, she even invited me over to an event at his house, right? And this is why I started to notice that something was a little funny. Like something in the buttermilk wasn't clean. So listen to this, okay? And thank you for sharing this video, Annette. And thank you so much. You said I look beautiful. Thank you, my darlings. So anyway, listen, babies. So she invites me to a little gathering at his house, right? She said, come on by this little gathering. He got some friends. One of them I think would be real good for you. I'm like, well, shit, pardon my language, but men like him, he got a friend, honey. I want one of them, okay? So anyway, I was single at the time too, honey. I'm like, ready to mingle, okay? You know what I'm saying? So anyway, we go over there. I go over there, right? And I remember he lived in this beautiful area. If you know DC metro area, it's an area called Potomac, Maryland. Get into it, girls, okay? Nice houses. Nice, okay? So anyway, I pulled up my little car. I'm trying to figure out where am I going to park. It's a nice neighborhood. Look like one of these neighborhoods, but you can't just park on the street. They're going to sell your stuff. Anyway, I pulled through the gates, honey. Why they got valet parking? At his private residence. You pull up to this house. This is like a big old house. It looked like that kind of house on, Diary of a Mad Black Woman. You see what I'm saying? With the big house. You see what I'm saying? The real big house that she lived in before her husband turned foul on her. It looked like that. It was big. The landscape was all lit up and everything like that. They had somebody, the valet literally, as soon as I'm pulling to the driveway, he says, they stopped me. They said, we'll park for you. I said, but the house all the way up there, I'm supposed to walk all the way up to the house? My hood, man. I'm supposed to walk all the way up there because it's a long driveway. They said, no. Point over to a golf cart. There's somebody waiting in a golf cart to take me up to the house. Before I can get into the golf cart, listen to what I'm telling you now. Before I could get into the golf cart, there was somebody holding a tray, right? They had champagne flutes and they had these other like little mocktail drinks, right? They said, would you like one? I said, sure, I got the mocktail look good. It's like a guava one. I like that one. So I got the little mocktail and I got into the golf cart and they rolled me up to the house. They rolled me up to the house in the golf cart. You see what I'm saying? I was sipping and everything like that. I'm like, God, I'm dressed good enough. I thought I was going to a little something at his house. I didn't think I was going to the damn Buckingham Palace. You see what I'm saying? So anyway, I'm sipping, get into the house, honey. As soon as she opens the door, right? Because I get up to the door, right? And they open it. And I guess they told her I was coming, which impressed me too, because I guess someone alerted her that her friend was coming. So as soon as they open the door, who's standing there? Monica, wearing the most beautiful blue gown. Yes, gown, not skirt, not dress, gown. Get into it, girls, okay? I'm like, oh my God, they opened the doors. And it was one of these houses where it had the two staircases that go up like this. You know what I'm talking about? You walk through the front door, it's got the two staircases, the curved ones right there, and a big old chandelier. That chandelier was so tall. And I'm like, oh my God. It was like marble floors, but it had these gold inlays in the floors. Honey, I'm a detail kind of girl, and I remember every bit of this, okay? I had the gold inlays in the floor. Beautiful plants. The house smelled like money. Okay? It smelled like wealth. Okay? I'm like, oh my goodness. Okay? Where am I? Okay? This house was unimaginable. So we go in and she opens the door. She says, hi, darling. Come on in. Come on in. And I said, I'm so happy to be here. I said, girl, this is nice. And she's like, shut up, bitch, shut up, bitch. She's like, shut up, bitch. You know my hood is. She's like, shut up, bitch. I'm like, oh. So I had to class it up real fast. And so she's walking me through, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So she's introducing me to his friends and everything like that. But there was something a little weird about his friends, right? We in this classy establishment. You see I'm going with this? We're in a nice house. His friends look a little too round away for me. You know what I'm saying? Right? A little too round away for me. Thank you, Nicolette, for sharing this video. I appreciate you for sharing it and letting me know you shared it. After y'all shared it, call out. Thank you, Debbie Price, for sharing it as well. They look too round away, right? And I'm looking around. I'm like, who are these people? I don't know about these people, honey. Now, I didn't need to keep my purse close to my chest, honey, but I didn't trust these people. You see what I'm saying? I'm looking around, I was trusting my spidey senses, and my spidey senses was saying, I don't know why these people are here, something doesn't match. She's walking me around. She says, oh, and this is who I wanted you to meet, right? She introduced me to his friend. Let's call him Walter, right? Walter comes up, honey. He don't look no better than everybody else in there, right? Hey, how you doing, right? I'm like, I'm real good. Now, honey, I done been around the world, You hear what I'm saying? And I done seen some things, all right? And so anyway, as I'm listening to talk, I know the questions to ask, honey, all right? I know the questions to ask, honey. Don't let this cute little Care Bear fool you, okay? She's not dumb. And so I was like, oh, wow. Since I'm talking, so I'm trying to find out information about the man by finding information about Jimmy, by finding out information through him. You know what I'm saying? Always go through another source. I was like, wow, so how long have you known Jimmy? Oh, child, I knew him since we was in the streets, so on and so forth. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We elevated these days. We elevated. He was talking. So what I did was I act like I knew what he was talking about. I act like I knew about whatever Jimmy did for a living. I didn't. I said, yeah, I'm very proud of him. He came a long way, didn't he? He came a long way. So I'm like egging him on to tell me more. And he had some cocktails, so he could tell me more. Like I said, I had a mocktail, baby, okay? So a girl is sober, okay? Now, I may act a little tipsy, but I know how to be sober and get the news that I need to get, honey. I'm here for the good news. Can I get an amen? So anyway, he's going and telling me all this. Child, why does he slip up in it? And Talk said something. He didn't say the word scamming, but he said something to the effect of like, he said, yeah, when we was hitting licks. That's what he said. He said, I remember when we started hitting licks, I said, yeah, I know how that is. Girl, I know how that is. I know what that means. He's like, yeah, I remember we started hitting licks and Hitting licks means doing illegal activities. You know what I'm saying? Robbing, whatever it may be. And so I was like, but hitting licks could be other types of crimes too. They don't have to be violent stuff, right? And so I was like, yeah. I said, yeah. I said, you start where you start from, but you got to get where you going. It ain't how you got this, that you got there. Right? Child, did he just tell me that this man is hitting licks and hitting scams? Anywho, Inspector Gadget herself, right here, was like, I got to go to the bathroom. Where is the bathroom? And he was like, oh, well, you can go that one over there, one over there, whichever one you want to go to. And so I saw a little door open. It looked like an office. So I scurried on over there to the bathroom that was over there. You know how in a lot of houses, they have like the little bathroom that's in the office. So I went down to that one. That way I said, somebody catch me. I'm like, I didn't know where the bathroom was. I'm so tipsy. I just wandered in here for a bathroom. Play dumb. Okay? So I went into there, honey. And when I went to there, I closed the door behind me, girl. I'm like, if they catch me, they catch me. What they going to do? And so anyway, I went in there, cut the faucet on in the sink in the bathroom so people think somebody's in there, flushed the toilet, and I started just looking around the office. I'm just trying to look around, see if I can find anything in there. Is there papers out? Is there something out? Is there anything there? I don't know what I'm supposed to find. I'm just looking, right? And I'm looking around, baby. I couldn't really find nothing of substance in there. The laptop was closed and locked, right? There was no paper sitting out. I'm like, what is going on here, right? But, listen when I say this, okay? What I did see, and this was right here, right? He had his little desk, right? And he had the little drawer, like the drawer right below where you have your keyboard at, the drawer right there. Look in there, baby. Not one passport, not two passports, 3 passports, different countries. Listen. All of them had the same pictures in there. Listen to me, I kid you not. All of them had the same pictures in there. So it was him. Different names. Same script, different cast. Okay, different names. Okay? I'm like, ain't no way you got 3 passports with 3 different names. That don't make no sense. You can have that passports from different countries. That's not suspect, right? But 3 different names? So anyway, listen to this. So I was like, how do I bring this up to her? Because I can't say I was snooping or nothing like that. Well, child, I didn't have to bring it up, not on my own. Because later on in the night, I go out by the pool, and who is out there but Miss Monica? Listen to me when yes, I did do that, Katina. I went in there, and I certainly looked around. Thank you for sharing this video. So Monica's out there, and she's looking real sad, and just real, not even sad. She's looking upset. I was like, what's going on, honey? She's like, nothing. And I noticed as I was walking up to her outside, he had walked away, right? So it looked like they was in some kind of exchange. I think just a little couples exchange, whatever. He walked away. I said, what's going on? She's like, nothing, nothing, nothing. She's like, it's nothing, it's nothing, it's nothing. Let's just leave it alone. My spidey senses said she's ashamed to tell me what it really is. She's ashamed to tell me what it really is. But listen, honey, I'm persistent and I don't give up. So I said, well, girl, don't even worry about it. I said, I'm sure the Lord will take care of it, right? That's code for, girl, you better tell me about this. I'm sure the Lord will take care of it, right? She said, yeah, I'm sure too. Read their face. Say that to them. Anytime you don't know what's going to be like, I'm sure the Lord will take care of it. And then look at them right in the face and see what their face look like, right? And she's like, yeah, I'm sure. Child, so fast forward. Next thing I know, we out and about, maybe about a week, 2 weeks later, and the bill comes, and I'm expecting that she gonna pull out that black card to hit this bill like she always did. The black card didn't come out. She said, babe, we gotta split this today. That's strange. I thought that Daddy Warbucks was paying the bill, right? Not this time. She said, we gotta split the bill. I said, what's going on? She said, I tried to use the card earlier, it got declined. I need to talk to him about it. I said, okay. She said, that's not, I need to talk about some other stuff too, because it's getting on my nerves. I said, the card getting declined? Girl, the cards can get declined. That's not, why are you mad at him about that? She said, it's not that. She said, I need to talk to him about this, because this is serious. This is my credit on the line now. This is my credit on the line. Now, she tipsy. Okay, my girl likes to sip. Okay? And so when she likes to sip, a girl likes to listen. You see what I'm saying? You want to get some tea? Listen to a girl who's sipping. I said, what you mean is your credit on the line now? Huh? What you mean? Right? And she said, nothing. I said, well, I'm sure the Lord will work it out. Again, looking at her face. And she said, somebody need to work this out because this is my credit. I said, now I didn't push it too far. But what I did do was I waited a couple days. And I said, girl, I'm coming by your house. I said, I got a bottle of red with me. I just want to come by for a minute and say hi to you. It was a Wednesday night. Now, I know she liked to drink, honey. I don't got to take a sip. Just pour her some. So I come by the house with that bottle of red. I'm like, girl, here you go. What's going on? Sit on the couch. You get all comfy. You know what I'm saying? Sit on the couch. What's going on? How you been? Did everything get fixed with your credit situation? Again, I talked like I knew what was going on. Even though I don't know nothing. That's one of my tricks. Right? I was like, yeah, did everything get fixed with your credit situation? I know you was very upset about that the other day. And she was like, she looked like, did I tell you everything? That's what I could see her, she's in her mind. Like, what did I tell him? I was like, did everything get fixed with your credit situation? And she was like, she said, well, not yet. I said, so what you gonna do about it? I'm acting like I know what's going on just so she can tell me more. Tell me more, honey. You know how it is. You do that with your kids, with your kids. Act like you already know what they're going to tell you, and they'll tell you even more, right? And so what you going to do about it? She said, he need to get this out of my name. Get this out of my name. He told me it's going to be temporary. I said, girl, well, you know how it is with these men and their business and temporary stuff. Sometimes business things take a long time. I'm just throwing stuff out there, hoping it sticks. And she said, yeah. I said, so how'd that even happen to get on your credit in the first place? What happened? What happened? You see what I'm saying? And she said, well, he told me that he needed me to put something in my name, some kind of loan or something like that, to put something in her name. The house, that's what it was, to do a, what do you call it, line of credit on the house, right? Now, the house is paid off in her divorce from John, right? So she had plenty of equity, right? Big old house, okay? And do a line of credit. She said to do it there because he needed me to do some kind of deal to be there so that he could finance this deal in blah, blah, blah country. And once that went through, he would pay it all off as well as give me like some kind of crazy in return, like 20% return on her money. That's better than any mutual fund I know of at the moment. You see what I'm saying? And so she said she agreed. I said, why would you agree? She said, because she showed me his bank account. He had a lot of cash in his bank account. I said, then why couldn't he pay for his own money? She said, because he's about to do this deal, he had to leave that money in the account so they could see it on paper, but he also needs to have this backup, da, da, da. I was like, oh, okay. I said, so what's the issue? She said, it was supposed to be back. He's supposed to have this done. And I said, my money back months ago. I said, months ago? She said, yeah. I said, so this has been an ongoing thing? She's like, yeah. I said, girl. I said, cause I'm putting it two and two together. Like I said, I would never tell a girl to leave her man. No, am I gonna ever tell you a man ain't worth, you know what I'm saying? But I'm thinking, this ain't worth, you see what I'm saying? This ninja ain't worth shiznittle, okay? I was saying, Now, like I said, I've been around the world, all right, now I done heard some things. So my spotty senses is going off saying, yes, indeed. I'm like,
I said, well, wait, the contract you signed with him, did it stipulate when he was going to get back? She said, I didn't sign a contract with him. I said, oh. Oh, she said, I did do this one document with him. I said, put it up, let me see it. Girl, I read through it. Girl, it was a power of attorney. Power of attorney. I said, you gave him power of attorney? She said, well, he said he needed this document signed just to do whatever for the loan because he's going to do the paperwork for the loan. I said, girl, have you gone through your credit lately? She said, not really. I said, you should go through it. She said, why? I said, just to see the impact on this payment being late, right? What I really wanted to go through it for was to see if she had anything else on her credit, child. She said, I'll look at it later. I said, why don't we look at it now? So I said, why don't we look at it now? Child, I want to sign up for an account for her right then and there, right? We went to one little credit bureau report. Where so I was like, no, let's just peek at it now. Let's just peek. I can help you look through it. I know finance. Let me help you look through it. Child, go to that credit report. Pristine A1 credit. Except for the fact that she had multiple loans on her credit that she knew nothing about. Listen to me. And not just loans, mortgages. She knew nothing about them. Nothing about them, I swear to you. None. Right? She had these lines of credit, whatever was on that thing, right? I'm like, girl, you didn't know nothing about this. She's in shock. She is devastated. She said, what am I supposed to do? I said, girl, I don't know. I said, do you know where his money comes from or what he does? And she was like, he told me he does something with investing and blah, blah, blah. I mean, but I saw his house. I saw how he was living and everything like that. I didn't think it was a big deal. And he was always giving me money. At one point in time, he even paid my mortgage for me and da-da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, that's all fine and well, girl, but all the glitz and gold, you never questioned where it came from? Nothing? She's like, no. I said, well, girl, please don't judge me. I said, but you know, I saw in this drawer, he had 3 different passports, one with a different name from different countries, right? And she said, I thought she was going to be mad at me. She said, I saw that too. I said, in the office? She said, mm-hmm. I said, you ain't say nothing about it then? She said, I didn't want to say nothing about it. I didn't want to say nothing about it. He was treating me good, and I just didn't want to ask no questions. I said, girl, what you gonna do? Child. She said, I'm going to find a way to talk to him. I said, I think you should. But above all, please lock your credit report. Call every credit bureau and lock your credit report so nothing else can be done. You know you can lock your credit report. Go lock your credit report, right? You can do a little freeze on it, right? It's not going to stop your score or nothing like that. It just locks so nobody else can do nothing with your credit. I said, go do that. Everybody should do that, right? That's my opinion. And so I said, just lock your credit report, which she did. Child, she did that. Why did like I said, this is a Wednesday when we talk, right? But why did, after she locked the credit report, right? It wasn't but a couple of days later, he comes to her frantically. Hey, baby, is everything okay with your credit report? And she's like, yeah, why? He said, I just was curious. And so, now why would he know something was locked on credit report? Because he was trying to get another line of credit. And so he's like, baby, can you unlock it? And so she was like, why? Why would I unlock it? And then he says, I just need to, because I told you I had to get some things done and I can't take care of the loans that I got for you if it's locked. She says, that don't make no sense because in order to pay off the loans, you don't need a credit report to be unlocked to pay. Just pay the loans. You don't need my credit report unlocked for that. He's like, but I have to do some other things in order to get this done. She said, what other things? He wouldn't give her no answers. They get into a big shouting match. They're screaming. She said she saw a side of him that she'd never seen before. He was like a fiend. You ever seen somebody who was fiending for it? You ever seen somebody who was fiending? He was fiending for some money. He's like, he called her every name in the book because as she said no, each time she said no, he became more and more indignant. You trashy, blah, blah, blah. You da-da-da. You don't trust nobody, da-da-da, da-da-da. You da-da-da. He called her every name in the book. She went from this cherished queen to every name in the book. He going off on her because he's seen. He's caught. Eventually, because they're at his house at this point in time, eventually, he just goes off. So when he couldn't move, he said, get out of my house. She said, what? She said, we need deals. What about my money? He said, F you, get out of my house. You don't want to trust me? You don't deserve to be in my presence. This narcissist tried to flip it on her. You don't deserve to be in my presence. Yes. And so she said, what? She's devastated. How can he talk to her like this? After all this. And of course, when's she going to get her money? When's she going to get her money? When's she going to get her money? He went off on her. She wouldn't leave, honey. Why does he then grab her? Honey, it was like diver mad black woman. He grabs her to pull her out the door. She won't leave. Because she want to get an answer about her money, right? He grabs her and drags her out the door, pushes her out the door. Her car keys were still inside, and so was her purse. So she banging, I need my car keys. Open that door. I need my car keys. I need my car keys. He goes through the window, right, with the car keys, throws the car keys out the window to her, at her. Really, luckily it missed her. Can you imagine a hit with car keys? Threw the car keys at her, right? I need my purse. Throws the purse out the window. Throws everything out. She calls him on the way home, devastated. Thank you for sharing this video, Sharon and Lisa and Mary. Share this video and let me know y'all shared it, okay? She calls me in tears. She is devastated because this man's a demon. He's completely different than what she ever expected. He's all these things. He went off on her. She tries to call him, I'm like, well, call him. He blocks her number. She tries to hit him on social media. He blocks her pages. She tries to email him. The emails aren't going through. Everything is blocked. Everything is blocked. She is devastated. She is hurt. She is scared. And mind you, there's multiple loans taken out. Months go by. Now the banks are hitting her up, asking for money in these payments. Like I said, her ex-husband paid off that house. She couldn't afford that house on her own. So now they got these loans due, everything like that. She's at risk of losing her home. They're coming after her. Law firms are calling her up because they done escalate these collections to law firms. Talking about they're going to take her to court. You know what I'm talking about, right? She can't reach him. He's gone. I said, girl, why haven't you called the cops? I don't want to. I just want an explanation. I just want my money back. I don't want this to go. But I'm not trying to go ask for my money back. I said, girl, you can't protect the man who wasn't trying to protect you. I said, have you accepted that this man don't love you? He did love me. I think he just got in over his head. And he didn't know how to handle it. He was stressed out when I confronted him about it. He didn't know what to do. I said, girl, stop making excuses for him. She eventually screamed at me. You don't know what you're talking about. I'm not your enemy. I'm not your enemy. I'm here to support you. I'm here to support you. I don't even want to talk about this right now. Okay? Because you ain't got no man. Sister told me I ain't got no man. Shit. You ain't got no man, so you don't know how this is. You don't know what it means to love somebody. You can't just leave somebody every time they do every little thing. Now, girl, I know you are in a state of economic and emotional duress. Okay? And I know this man done did you dirty. I get it. Okay? But I ain't that saved that you can just yell and scream in my face. Okay? I'm not that girl. Thank you for sharing this video, okay? I said, girl, you do you. Okay? But when you're ready to hold him accountable, call me up. Okay? She said, just get out. Right? It's all done. I didn't hear from her. My good girlfriend, I didn't hear from her for about a year. A friend of hers, who I'm also a friend of, hits me up and says, you heard about Monica? I said, no. They said, child, she got put out of her house. Number one. They said her anxiety was so bad she couldn't function at the job. She lost her job. Her anxiety was real bad. Thank you for sharing this video, right? Right? They said she done lost weight and everything like that. What's going on? She on drugs? Something they asked. I said, nah, she ain't on. But I ain't want to tell nobody. I ain't want to tell her business. I knew what was going on, but I ain't going to tell nobody's business. And I said, nah. I said, let me call her up. So I didn't take it personal how she treated me. So I called up. She didn't answer my phone call. I hit her on social media. She didn't respond. I saw she saw the message. I said, hey, girl, just checking on you. I knew she was ashamed. Thank you so much, Sherry Jackson, for sharing this video, as well as Roberta Neer. So I said, you know what? You ain't answering my calls. I guess that must mean you want me to drop back. Right? I get it. You want an up-close and personal encounter. And that's my good Judy girl. So I went over to her house. Knock, 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 knock. Like they said, she done lost her house. Right? But I'm just like, let me just see if the rumors is true. Child, she ain't living there. Ain't nobody living in that house. Right? How do I find her? Right? I reached out to a friend of a friend of a friend, find out where she was at. Child, she was living in this little piddling apartment. Ain't nothing wrong with the apartment, but hers is piddling. Okay, piddling. Okay, little piddling place. Ain't don't look like nothing she'd ever lived in. I go there, baby. Walked up 4 flights of steps. Honey, go knock on the door. She opened the door, honey. Gray hairs is showing. I never knew that girl had gray hairs. She always had it dyed. You see what I'm saying? She gained weight. Her skin looked all flushed with stress. I said, hey, girl. Child, she broke down, just fell into my arms. Fell into my arms. At the door. I said, girl, you all right? She said, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. She's apologizing to me. I said, girl, you ain't got nothing to apologize for. How you doing? I'm so sorry. I don't even know if I want to be here no more. I said, girl, I said, listen, let's talk. I said, what's going on? She said, I've been trying to reach him. He won't call me. He won't call me. I said, you've been trying to reach him for a year. He won't call me. I just want to know what's going on. Why would he do me like this when he loved me? And he said he loved me, blah, blah. I got filed for bankruptcy, blah, 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 blah. I said, girl, I know in the Bible it says vengeance is mine. It says vengeance is mine, thus saith the Lord. I said, but it also says the kingdom of God is within. So here's my hood logic. If the kingdom of God is within, that means that God rests within me. And if God rests within me, and he said vengeance is mine, then guess what? Vengeance is mine too. See what I'm saying? I can execute on that. Get where I'm going, right? And so I said, Sugar Bear, I said, girl, don't get mad. Get even. And she said, what you mean? I said, you're not trying to go out of your way to hurt him. I said, but hold him accountable. I said, what you mean? I said, girl, you set up in that house and then you didn't make no copies of all the stuff you saw up in that house? No, I didn't, blah, blah. I said, girl, even when I was there at the thing at his house that some time ago, remember when you invited me over that thing? She's like, yeah. I said, girl, I took a picture of all 3 passports. She said, you did? I said, yes, girl. Because I wanted to prove it to you. Okay? Everybody need a friend like that. She said, yeah. I said, girl, I grabbed my purse, pulled my little phone out, grabbed my little phone out, pulled my phone out. I said, girl, here they are right here. I said, that alone is enough to at least get something going. She said, really? I said, yes, girl. Yes. Child, she said, what we supposed to do with this information? I said, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take this information. We're going to give it to a good friend. All right? And we're going to see what they can do with it. Okay? She said, okay. Child, the good friend came back with some good information. And the good friend told us, child, that this man was a total fraud, honey, okay? What he did was he looked up criminal records on each of them. Turns out one of the passports was his real name. Child, he got charges all over the place in multiple countries, okay? Beyond that, he even had a case against him where another woman has said that he did the same thing, ran up credit against her and all this other stuff. He went ham on her, on this other woman, and ham on her. She said she couldn't figure out where to find him, couldn't figure out what to do anything. I said, girl, just give it a little minute, okay? Well, she was able to find out eventually, listen to this, that he had some other properties in his name, in his real name, okay? And so what she did was she went down, and this property was in some out-of-the-way place, right? Wasn't nowhere close by. The property was way out somewhere in Mississippi, right? She living in D.C. The property's in Mississippi. What she do? She got on a plane and went down to Mississippi because she gonna go to the property, right? I said, girl, don't do that. Don't do that. People be shooting. Don't be doing that. She went down to the property. Get to the property. Knock, knock, knock. Knock, knock, knock. This wasn't much of a property, right? But nothing big. Knock, knock, knock. This woman opened the door, wearing a long shirt, like she at home, ain't wearing no bras or stuff, just a swinging. You know how y'all look when y'all at home. Hello? And then my friend Monica said, yes, ma'am, because an older woman. Yes, ma'am. You know Jimmy? Jimmy so-and-so? She said, you mean Gerald? Yes, ma'am, because that was his real name, right? She said, that's my son. And so Monica got real smart. She's like, oh, okay, well, wonderful. She says, well, I was in town and I realized that he grew up here, and I just wanted to come by and just tell him how excited I was about, about all the things he had done for me. And I've been trying to reach him to give him the information, tell him about that. And also, when he invested in my company, it turned out so well. I wanted to make sure I could give him his check. We've been trying to find him for over a year, and I want to give him his check. She said, Jimmy need a check. She said, yeah. And so she said, I'll give it to him. He said, ma'am, he has to sign for it. And I'm trying to reach him. And if he doesn't take it, by law, we're going to have to, we're going to have to take the check back after a while. She's making it up. And so she said, oh, okay. All right. Well, let me go in. Come on. You were coming, baby? And if I get this information? I said, yeah. So she come into the house, childhood photos all over the walls. This is the house that he bought for his mama. Even a criminal take care of their mama. Pictures all over the wall. And so she did what I told her to do, play dumb. She said, yeah, Gerald is always, don't call him Jimmy no more, call him Gerald. Gerald is such a good man, everything that he helped me in my business when everything was going bad, honey. He even helped put my kids through college. Lies. Yeah, my baby did that. Yes, he did. He treated me so good. And so on and so forth, and blah, blah, blah. And so she said, you know Andrea? You know Andrea, right? And she said, yes, ma'am, of course. How's Andrea doing? She said, well, they're going through a divorce now. Divorce? Yeah, they're going through a divorce. So click. Jimmy married. Yeah, oh my goodness. How long it was the marriage? It seemed like just yesterday they got together. Oh, child, they've been together since they was kids. Yeah, they've been together since they was kids. Uh-huh. That means he was with somebody when he was with her. See, yeah. She said, well, you just let me know because, there's spousal benefits that comes with this investment, too. So I got to make sure I get her information, too, to get her the money. Child, well, they don't talk to you. So I'm going to give you her number, too. Mother's giving everything away. Right? Here, write this down, baby. Here's his number. Call him. Okay? All right, now, if he don't answer, call him twice. All right? Now, here's the thing. And so she said, what about his address? Because if I can't reach him, I'm just going to mail him the check. Oh, yeah, you right. Let me give you that. Hold on. He moved around something out here. Use this one, because this is what he tell me to send stuff to. Right? Child gave him the address and everything like that, right? But guess what the address was, honey? Miami. Child, she called me up, told me the whole thing. I said, so what you going to do? She said, I'm booking a flight to Miami right now. I said, girl, by yourself? She said, yes, I'm going to Miami. I said, girl, hold on. Before you go, I know a good security firm out there. Don't go to his house by yourself. Take somebody with you. I gave her the number, okay? I said, I'll give you resources. I'm not going with you, but I'll give you some resources. You see what I'm saying? And so she goes down there, right? Goes down there, but before she goes to him, she calls up Andrea, the soon-to-be ex-wife, and talked to her. And she says, I'm going to take a shot in the dark and say, do you know a man named Gerald, da-da-da-da-da? And she said, yeah. And so she said, my name is, and before she got her name, she says, I know your name. And so she said, I know about you, baby. And she says, and she says, what do you know about me? I know you got played just like the rest of them. What you mean played just like the rest of them? What you mean played just like the rest of them? Right? And so she says, I know you got played. And baby, let me say this. I didn't know anything about it in advance. I found out about it after the fact. She said, see, the thing is, I've been with him since he was a teenager. And I remember when we was teenagers, he was always the one to cheat on tests. He was always the one to cut corners. But one thing I knew about him, when you come from a small town like we come from, I chose a man who I knew was going to be a provider, and I didn't ask so many questions. Now, I should have known better when he got locked up the first time, but when he got locked up the first time, he told me that it wasn't his fault. He had a story, and I believed him because I loved him, and that's what you do when you love a man. At least when you love a man, and you from where I'm from, you believe him. Not because you want to believe him. You believe him because you have to believe him because you have nothing else to rely on. So I believed him. He got out, got on the straight and narrow, said he was starting a construction business. He's always good with his hands. I imagine you know that too, huh? And he goes, honey, because Jimmy knew how to, you see what I'm saying? Anyway, and so she said, he started a construction business. So I thought that construction businesses didn't make that much money, you see what I'm saying? But he was bringing home a lot of money. I didn't ask no questions. I wanted to believe he was on the straight and narrow. The cars got bigger, the house got bigger, the vacations got longer and got more expensive. I didn't ask no questions. Before I knew it, we was living a life like I could never dream. I didn't ask any questions. But then I started getting these calls from other women. These other women weren't calling me just to say that they were sleeping with my husband. I could deal with that. I never expected him to be faithful. I just expected the lights to be on and the bills to be paid. But some of these women were talking about missing credit cards. Some of these women were talking about loans in their names. I told the women that they was making it up, that they wished they had a man like mine. I said that they was just trying to put dirt on his name because, you know, they just mad that he ain't want them, mad he was coming home to me. Monica said, you really believe that, though? That all those women had the same story and they was all lying? When you from where I'm from, you believe what a man tell you as long as he pay those bills. Where am I supposed to go? I gained all this weight, you know, having his kids, you know. He didn't really want me to go nowhere, no way. I had no money in my name. I had a little credit card, but that was in his name. I was just a sign on it. Car in his name. I don't even know if I own the clothes in the closet. Where am I supposed to go? I go to the police, I go to whoever, I go to what am I going to report? I don't even know what he did. And if he go away, then what happened to me? What happened to me? What happened to my kids? So no, I couldn't afford to be worried about what these whores were saying about my husband. So at the end of the day, if they wasn't cheating with him, then they wouldn't have had nothing to say no way. They put themselves in that situation. Immediately what she saw in this woman was that this woman was disempowered. This woman was undergoing financial abuse. This woman had been scammed herself, maybe not financially, but emotionally and in every other way. Monica said, where is he now? Don't tell him I gave him this information. The girl puts up the information. Same address the mother gave. She said, I'm prepared to take him down, which may affect you too. This is what Monica said. She said, and as a woman, I have to tell you that. Because for what he did to me, I have to do this. Are you going to be okay? Do what you got to do. Do what you got to do. That's what Andrea said to her. She said, do what you got to do. As she fought back tears in her eyes. Because it was bittersweet. Finally, justice was going to be served against this devil in her world. But she knew it was going to also turn her world upside down. But looking in another woman's eyes who he had devastated, seeing the pain in her, she knew it had to be done. She said, girl, trust me. I got you. That's what Monica said to her. She said, but before I do this, you've been around him a long time. Do you have anything you can share with me? Andrea looked at her. Come in here. Come in here. This conversation all happened in the doorway. She said, get in here. Come here. They sat down. Andrea, go in the back room. Pull up a mattress. Under the mattress. Child, files. Files. Upon files. Upon files. you look like you smart enough to go through this and figure out all of this. I couldn't make sense of it. It just, over the years, when I see stuff laying around, I put it aside for myself. Here, you go through it. And so she said, well, she said, you can go through it, but you can't take it with you. I need something for myself. Andrea had been preparing. She knew what she was going to do with her weapons, but she had them. And so she said, well, my sister, she said, I'm cooking. You can eat dinner here. You can go through the papers here, take pictures of what you want. So she said, all right. They sat down together for hours, talking and eating, exchanging notes about him. She took pictures. She had everything she needed. And she also made a beautiful bond with another woman who had gone through the same trauma and turmoil that she had gone through too. She needed to make a plan because she's like, I can't just go to him like I wanted to and just burst through his door. What was he going to do? See, here's the thing. A man with a lot to lose is a very dangerous man. You see what I'm saying? So she knew she couldn't do that. But of all, justice comes in different forms. And for her, justice was simply getting what was hers. You see what I'm saying? I can't tell you the play-by-play of what happened. But what I can tell you is this. When she surprised him a day or so later, outside of his home, accompanied by well-armed men, and had a very private conversation with him, they came to an agreement. The agreement was that if he did right by her, that she didn't see or hear nothing. Those pictures on the phone, gone. But she also brokered another agreement. If you do right by Andrew, I'll make sure those files go away too. That was a shot in the dark because Andrew never asked her to do none of that. He said, all right. What I can tell you is this. My friend didn't have to file for bankruptcy. No. She didn't have to file for bankruptcy. Loans paid. New house bought. Andrea, well taken care of too. Now, I can't tell you what happened with Jimmy. But what I can tell you is this. Not all stories always have a happy ending like this. Sometimes these stories end in far lower and worse devastation than you could ever imagine. I want to tell you this. All that glitters is not gold. And when your instincts kick in about somebody, I don't care how much you love them, I don't care how good the loving is, I don't care. When your instincts kick in and tell you something ain't right, listen. Listen to it, listen to it, listen to it. Because I'm going to tell you right now, not everybody was raised like you. I don't know what happened with him. What I can tell you is this, is that Monica learned a very powerful lesson that I hope you'll take with you too. Never allow your loneliness to blind you to your instincts. What some people like to call the Holy Ghost. Because your discernment is real. And when you ignore it, that's when you end up in the worst circumstances. Get in here. Click like and click share. I'll be back with another story time later. Bye.